Like if you have meet a young woman and you're talking about parenting, for example, like with her child, that she might be doing incorrect things with parenting with her child, and you'll say like, well, don't you like me as a man, and don't you think that it's fair that your child has some type of male influence? Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Well, don't you agree that because they might say, well, you don't have any kids, right? So you'll go into this conversation, and then you'll say, well, second thing is, well, wouldn't you say when you didn't have kids, you could easily see mistakes that other parents were doing with their children that they couldn't see because that's their parent and they're being biased to their child? Oh yeah, but yeah, but that's different. No, 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 no. Why is it different? It's different. It's different when you're the person without the child giving advice to somebody with a kid with a child. But when you have the child and somebody on the outside doesn't have a child and they're doing it to you, it's different now? No, it's not different. You just don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it, and you're saying it's different so that you don't agree with the fact that I'm right. It's a coping skill. It's not different.
For the record, you having a child doesn't make you a better parent than somebody that doesn't have a child when the person that doesn't have a child is just overall has high intellect and high intelligence. Because there's things that I'm not even a police officer, and I feel like I can solve more fucking certain things without having any training in certain cases. That's because of high intelligence that I might be able to be in positions of any other things and be able to solve it better than the person that actually has the experience, because the person that is doing the job is just retarded. There are
Yeah,
actually retarded parents out there. There actually are bad parents.
yeah,
So if I'm going against a horrible bad parent that's retarded, I'm able to, even without a kid, be able to give it better guidance in general than if I was a parent. Because obviously, if I'm a parent, I'm going to have the same ideologies I have before I wasn't one,
right,
which means I'm already technically an elite parent right now.
right, right, exactly. And while there is some validity to people who do say that, right? So let's go ahead and get into that conversation. There is validity to people who have those type of answers, but it's not an answer that people give because they're what they're saying is actually right all the time. It's an answer that people are giving because they don't want your opinion. It's a way of saying I don't want your opinion. Because it's the same thing when people who are older and you're telling them something smart that they'll say, "Hey man, I've been around for 20 years, young buck. No, let me go ahead and what I'm saying. It's just that means that I really just don't want to hear your opinion anymore. What you're saying is it possibly could be true, and I don't have anything else to say on top of that that's intelligent. So what I am going to say is I'm smarter than you, so let's just end the conversation. Or I'm a parent and you're not, so let's just end the conversation. Because at the end of the day, whether you're a parent or not, you have nieces and nephews, and in your family, you deal with children at point blank. And people forget that when you are in that particular situation of being a parent, you can become biased because you're in the fog of parenting. You can't be objective. But then when you're not a parent, but you know how you are around kids, you can look from the outside in and be objective. But people a lot of times don't want objective opinions, especially when it comes to something like parenting. People don't want your objective opinion.
It's very touching. That's actually number two reason why people get divorced is because of kids and different ways of how they want to raise them.
Yeah, it's like people do not want to hear any advice about their kids. They could be beating the crap out of kids, spanking them, beating the crap out of, cussing them out, verbal abuse. They don't want to hear your opinion.
You might think you love your woman, and then you'll actually have a child with her, and you'll find out that y'all have two different ideologies of how you want to raise the
Yeah.
child. And that in itself will cause the biggest
Yes.
tension.
Yeah. You could preach that. You
That
could
is
preach that.
number one, that you might think you're on the same page until it comes to child involved. And that's why it's very important to actually make sure before you get to that point that there's some type of understanding of how the child is going to be raised in, in what you think
Yeah.
is important and what the other person, and there's compromise obviously in what you think is important and what you think is not, and that you're on the same page, because that truly could, cause an issue. And again, like when it comes down to what you were saying about people not having child and not being validated, like listen, at the same time, I mentor adults. Adults look up to me. There's not that difficult for me to be able to give advice for a child situation that's pretty basic. When I'm able to deal with high level adult situations with multiple moving parts that are complicated, and then you're talking about something basic like children. I know it might undermine people because they like to say children's hard. I'm one of those people like, listen, it's very easy. It's very easy. It's not even that difficult. You know why? Because I'm talking to the child like an adult. No matter the way I mentor adults, the way I'm going to mentor a child, exactly the same way. In the fact that I'm not going to talk dumb to it, I'm not Google Gaga. I'm just going to talk to it like a normal
Yeah.
human being. And then I'm going to use practical concepts, and obviously, and always have to do things with the best intentions, which is proven in general in my track record. So if I give it advice or suggestion, is obviously coming from a lot of experience and a lot of life experience in general, and it necessarily doesn't have to be back the fact that I already have a kid. Because there's obviously guys out there that got 8 different baby mamas, and I'm pretty sure them saying that they have 4 or 5 different kids from 4 or 5 different wives is not going to give them a better suggestion than I do with no kids. And I'm actually a more model citizen, and actually, you know what I'm saying, have actual accomplishments that show that I'm sensible
Yeah.
in my decision
Exactly.
making. Judge
Exactly.
me by my decision making based on the problems I've already been through and how I solved them,
Yes. Yes.
not based on what I have. Because that's the case. Any fucking dipshit that has a child would basically, quote unquote, be more qualified than me.
Yeah.
You can't. That's why I said it is a cop out. Again, it's easy to use that as a cop out to say things like that, because just because you are a parent don't mean you're a good one. I mean, you got to remember that. And just because
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because you have money don't also mean that you're financially intelligent either.
Absolutely.
So you can't just look at things and just say, there's a lot of things that just because you have something don't make you
Right.
qualified.
There's a lot of things that are not unanimous.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
unanimous at all. Unanimous. Okay. That's got me. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a
not
lot of
unanimous
things not
at all.
unanimous at all.
Age is one of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't date young men, or I don't date people younger than me, or if you're younger, or you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, there's a lot.
That is a clear, obvious indication that you have nothing left to say. Right? So you're gonna sum it up. That's really like if we're in a conversation and you can do it and it is funny, but it's like talking about business or finances, and then you conclude the conversation and saying, well, listen here, man, I got way more money than you. I got way more money than you. Yeah. But it's just in the conversation you're out of ammo. So you're just using that to just
I would never do that. And when you're immature and don't have the mental capacity, you usually just resort to those type of things and phrases. To where, or a girl will say, that's why I look better to another woman. That's why I look better than you.
yeah, like what the heck is that about? Yeah, that's why